Welcome back, everybody. My name is K-Hug. You can call me Kyler, and welcome to the Season 2 Let's Play Minecraft Survival series. We are just finishing up the last few details to the exterior of the mega base, and I think... Nope, we got one more row to go here, and we'll be fully done. Yeah, welcome back, or welcome to the Season 2 Let's Play Minecraft Survival series. My name is K-Hug. You can call me Kyler. You know what to do. Let's get into the video. If you haven't been here before, the mega base, which I will give you a finished view here momentarily, has taken almost an entire year to fully complete. So we are just about done with one of the last few steps that we need, and that is adding in all of these andesite and mob-proofing blocks around the outer rim. I think that, there we go. I think that actually finishes it up. Yes, I got all the detail done, and that is the last side I had to do. So all of the walls, the 4 walls, are completely done, minus the fact that we still had to figure out what we are going to do with the corners down there. But that is not what we're going to do today. What we're going to do today is finish the Hall of All. We're going to go back over there, work the attic space out, get everything lined up the way we want it to be, finish that up, and then we can officially finish filling out the Hall of All so we can come to a close. So let me go gather some resources, and I'll meet you all over there. Before we get completely started, I want to go ahead and update our community member counter here from 203 to 208 official channel subscribers. Thank you guys for all of your continuous support. I cannot thank you enough, so let's go on and get back over to the Hall of All. Now, if you don't know what the Hall of All is, the Hall of All is collecting every single item in Bedrock Minecraft 1.20.4. I'm not doing any of the updated stuff that just released with the trail and trial stuff. This is everything that existed in the game when I started this Let's Play series. So, since last time, if you were here, I did go ahead and finish up all of the copper pieces. So we've got everything in here, and I had to move the raw copper ore and the copper ingot, I believe, into this box here because we are just out of space in the copper department because there is so many variations to these blocks. But that is enough of the updates. A little over 600 out of the 1,200, or the 1,160, I guess, items in the game. So we are getting very, very close to being done. I know it's only 50%, but it's over 50%, which is over halfway. Glass half full, not glass half empty, folks. Now, if I haven't mentioned it enough already in the beginning of this episode or in previous episodes, what we are working on is closing off the dragon, or so you can't see the underbelly of the rooftop. I think this takes away from the aesthetic of the Hall of All, and it'd be nice to have this finally finished up. What I have in mind is figuring out how to do some sort of half-domed archway in here, just so the dragon fits and we can block off all of this extra space. This will be void up here, which I'm not concerned with. I think originally if we needed extra boxes, I was going to retrofit a floor up here with a railing around so we could have 2 stories. But then the walls get real small on the edges because I'll have to build like a half wall up and over and then figure out how to cover all these torches up. So without doing all of that, rather than doing all that, if I may, we're going to go ahead and dome the entire structure out and completely disregard the upstairs. And if we need it, we can always go back and add it. We can always take things down. So from a structural standpoint, I think the best thing we can do is just play off of these pillars like we have before. Now, originally that's where our ridge poles went to hold up the roof structure. But instead, on these sides, I'm thinking if we go up a block at a time and over at the same time. Okay, I think I want to have this actually facing a different direction. Let's put a temporary block right here. I think you want this to face in this early direction. So now we add in our secondary block. We can continue this pattern up. I think this will all be hidden actually the more I think about it. So let's go ahead and add that in there and then slowly make an archway. Now it'll have to eventually double up, and by double up I think I'll go ahead and do that right here. We'll put 1 there and then we'll go 2 blocks out, and now we can go up to the next story and so on and so forth. Let me go ahead and get across here, and then we'll go down below and get a good view of how this looks. Okay, without going down, we can actually get a pretty good view what this looks like from this angle, and this is kind of what I was imagining. Now, I do kind of want to see it from down here because when we walk in, there will no longer be all this gray. will be big birch beams kind of leading through here. I really do like the way that looks. I think starting off with a short stagger by one stepping and then extending this out into a double step and then finishing off with a open curve here looks really nice. So I'll go ahead and continue to do the same thing on the next 3 pillars. And then we have to decide what's going to go in between as the webbing, and we don't want it to really match anything else we have in this build. So we'll have to go back to the drawing board and decide what kind of material we're going to use for our ceiling. Okay, those are the archways completely finished all the way through. Looks like I got a couple pieces over here I need to pick up. There we go. And now we need to probably go back to base, get some of this birch out, and try to find a block that accents this real nicely. I wanted to go black originally with maybe some of the skulk block or whatever that is from the deep, just so it permeates a little bit of light, almost like it's the end sky. But then I didn't want to not be able to see the dragon, because black on black he would eventually just fade into the above. I'm thinking that hopefully, unfortunately, there's no way of doing stairs with these or slabs for a nice smooth slopes, but some terracotta or some different variations of darker terracotta may look nice in here. And maybe we can even do some sort of gradient. But let's go ahead and go check a few different blocks out. We'll lay out this birch and we'll place the blocks next to it and we'll see how it adds up. Okay, we got our little birch wall here, and now we can just dig through some of these boxes. Now you can tell that the terracottas, I definitely have a lot of choices. I could even go with just a standard terracotta. How does that accent? See, I just don't think the terracottas are going to work because there is no slab available to work with them. But maybe something like the mud textures might work. It's kind of another odd one. We don't have a whole bunch of it, but ooh, I actually like the way the mud interacts with the birch. Okay, that being considered, I don't think we have very much mud. We obviously don't based on this box, and we're gonna need a ton of it. Now I've got the mud, it's getting the bricks, which means I need a ton of wheat, which we did go collect a bunch of hay bales. Maybe this is enough. Let's see real quick, how many can I make? Okay, I should be able to make like 3 stacks maybe. We may also need to go pick up some more mud, but let's see what we can make out of this. Okay, 3.5 stacks is not too shabby. It's a 1-to-1 conversion. So I'm wondering if we were to, let's take all of our blocks that we have. We don't need the fences, those would be fine. But if I take these with us and then also with the sawmill thing here, or the stone cutter, we might be able to break these down a little faster. So let's go ahead and head over there and see what we can do. Oh boy, hold on. Yep, we were out of rockets. All right, I'll see you guys at the Hall of All. Okay, now hopefully I can take the mud. No. The mud cannot be converted, which is kind of a bummer. I guess I should have checked before we left the base. That's totally fine. So what we're gonna have to do instead is we're going to have to use the man, that means the conversions are going to be real stinky. I wonder actually if I convert this first, now can I change the bricks? Okay, at least we could chop these bricks out. Okay, that's perfect. Because these are a 1-to-2 for the slabs, and then it's a 1-to-1 for stairs. And it's otherwise really, really expensive to use mud for anything when using just the crafting table. So that's good information to have. Now, what we're gonna do with the mud, I don't quite know yet. I think we need to go ahead and grab some more birch real quick. I gotta quit, you know what? We have scaffold. I put scaffold right here. Why am I flat? Okay, anyways, where is, here we go. Our birch log. We'll just put everything down here. We'll have to come down for resources. I think that'll be enough for the time being. Okay. With our mud and our birch and stuff in hand, we're gonna use the ladder. Look at us go. We need to figure out where this roof's gonna start and where it's gonna go to. I think first and foremost, just a line across here is enough. And I'm gonna try to minimize the amount of actual bricks we use, because these are the expensive ones right here, because it's for these guys to, oh no, I guess it's the same price. Ooh, maybe I use more of the, nope, let's just continue on. Don't question ourselves, we know what we're doing. Okay, we don't know what we're doing, because I think I just realized that we can actually save we can't save this row. I was thinking that we could get rid of this row because this block was here, but it's not all the way across, so we need to at least fill this in. But we can save a block by not putting one there, and now we can go ahead and continue another layer of mud through here, like so. We can also save this one as well. And now we can start tiering ourselves up, and it looks like we'll be able to use full blocks for quite some time. I put a couple more rows in here. This one's fine. This one's also allowed to be a full block. I'm just doing that because this is dropped down a little lower. So that one's fine. And now here's where it gets a little weird. So if I put a full block here, it'll be flush with the bottom of the ceiling. We don't want that. So this is going to be a full row of just the slabs. And then we can go back to the full bricks like so. Now we gotta be careful because I think we'll have to do, yes, we'll have to do it again right across here. And then one more row of these standard blocks, and then the rest of it's gonna be slabbed. It might get a little weird here. Let me go ahead and, ooh, maybe we throw in a different texture and we go with stairs first. And then a row of slabs. And then we head downstairs and give it a quick glance. The moment of truth. Okay, you know what? It's a good wood texture. I actually really don't mind the mud and the birch. I think it looks really good together. This is something I can use in future builds now, knowing that these two are like a lighter wood tone and a spruce almost tone. This actually might look really good with spruce. It probably matches almost perfectly. But I think I like this because it accents the birch very well. Not something I use very often, birch, but I may use it more in the future now that I've seen this. So I'm gonna go ahead and do, let's go ahead and just get one archway done, and we'll check that out. Make sure, let's confirm that we are enjoying this texture before we continue to use all the resources we have, and before we have to get more, because ultimately we're not gonna have enough. I should have been counting how much mud we use for one arch just so I can know how much more I need 4 more sections done, but I think this look, other than the fact that we don't have any mud steps and we have to put a double mud wide thing here and a solid piece of mud bricks versus the mud blocks themselves, I do think though this looks absolutely spectacular. So I think this is time for us to go ahead and finish out as much as I can before we need to go get resources, and then we'll take another glance at it and just definitely confirm with ourselves that we're enjoying the aesthetics. So without further ado, let me hop back in here, get the rest of this finished up, and then we can move on to something else. Okay, we were so close, but we got the 3 midsections done. I think this, man, every time I look at it, I'm just kind of shocked of how good this actually looks. Now, unfortunately, we are a smidge bit short because this is all the blocks I have left in the inventory shown down below. So we're definitely gonna need to get some more mud. Did I see a phantom? I sure hope not. But the one other thing we need to do real quick before going and getting the rest of the mud is I need to figure out how to do the archways on the end and also keep this ridge beam in here that holds up the opening at the front. So we're gonna go ahead and, well, you know what do I have? I do have enough resources. Let's go ahead and get this pillar complete, or the archway complete here, and all of the supporting features. Maybe we'll add in some details. Maybe we should add some other poles in here, actually. If we were to put a ridge like there, and maybe up, I think for now we'll keep it like this. If I need to go back and add features, we can. I definitely think we need to add some like slabs and or stairs of the birch right here just to show that it's being supported a little bit. But without further ado, I think let's go ahead and get these archways on the 2 ends done, and then we'll go back, and I think we might have enough mud in our mud chest in order to convert to the packed mud. So let's get back into building these archways, and then we will go check out our mud situation. Now the only difference here is going to be the fact that we're no longer being supported from underneath, and whatever we don't cover up, like along here, is going to have to be filled in with some sort of resource. Now thankfully, the thing that's good about this is it does make this process a little bit easier, especially when it comes to putting in these sideways logs just like that. We can come down and do it from below. But I think this is where it's going to get a little weird, is if I bring this next row up, you will see that now we are going to have a fill spot, and that'll make sense here in just one moment. So that's the full archway, matches the rest of them, but now we have this odd gap that we have to fill right in here, and that I think is going to require another texture. I don't think we'll go with more mud. I think the mud needs to stay on the ceiling, but I think this might be a good time to maybe introduce the terracotta, except for right along here. These are, Yeah, these are gaps to below, and then the terracotta will be seen because it's not a half slab. I think this is going to take some doctoring, some decision making, but let me get the 2 archways done on both sides, and then we'll head back to base and pick up some more blocks. Okay, we are back. I have a little bit more mud. It's not a ton. I'm really hoping, fingers crossed, that this will be enough to finish up the roof series. But I've also got a super daring block combination, and that is 2 different types of terracotta to fill in these ends. Now, I went with the magenta and the purple terracotta because I think that'll help maybe pull in the color of the wings of the dragon onto the ceiling. Not sure how that's going to look, but I also think that they are soft enough tones that they work really well with these light and vibrant wood textures. We'll have to see how that looks. I think I'm going to do some sort of gradient just from one side to the other or from top to bottom. But I first want to see if we have the mud to finish up the last 2 ceiling sections. We were so close to being done with the mud. We almost got everything done except for the last row of half slabs on this side, and then, well, we really weren't that close down here, but we got a lot of it done. And so now I think we can actually move into the last little detail that we needed to take care of, and that is this archway on both sides. I've got some ideas of how we're going to tackle this. I need to go ahead and get my items prepared here. I think just a few of these guys. Now we'll have to go ahead and make some more. Let's make, I think that, oh, that's definitely plenty. We've got more of in a stack now, and a few stairs will help us with transitions. Let's head up there. Now the first thing we're gonna have to do, unfortunately, is get rid of this perimeter. Now this exists on all the other sides. You know, it's these little circular ovular areas that are above the pillars to give it some accent. Now I think what we're gonna have to do instead is drop them down. It's gonna be a little weird on the front and the back, but I think since it'll be symmetrical here and over there, it won't be as bizarre. It is the front entrance, so maybe it won't even be noticeable. But this is where things are gonna get weird, I think. I want to try to do like a half. Ooh, what if I bring like a half moon shape in here? Let's see how this looks. Let's lay some of this out, and then we'll go look at it from down below. But what I want to try to do is create a gradient on both ends. Is that weird? I don't want it to be a circle, so I gotta kind of stretch out some of these pieces a little bit. If I do that, fill in a little purple in this corner. And then the rest of the purple on this side. It's not a very fancy gradient because it's only using 2 colors, but I think the fact that this has any sort of difference in the texture at all is going to look pretty cool. And this is a great perch point. I don't love it, but I don't hate it either. It's not bad, but it does look, the colors themselves are so neutral and soft that they do look really, really good together. And so I'm happy with that part. I'm not happy with as much as I need a 3rd color for a gradient. You can't have a gradient with just 2 colors. So maybe we'll go back and find one more color for this. But first, yeah, see, you can see now there's a lip here. That was not there before. But let's go ahead and take care of this other side real quick. I've changed my mind. Let's go back to base and see if we can find another terracotta that would help bring these 2 colors together. Now, it doesn't have to be a terracotta either, but I think this is going to be the easiest block to do with. And it's from purple. I don't know, the blue looks a little too far off. The dark blue's definitely bad. But what other color? The pink, maybe? I think that's too pink for me. I wanted to keep it kind of neutral. A light gray. Actually, whoa, wait a minute. Why does that look like it's... Maybe not in that order. Hold on. Flip it around. Okay, I've got another idea. We've got some of this crimson. But you stripped crimson hyphia. Is that too bright? Because these are so soft toned. Yeah. I think that's too much color. I don't mind the gray, and maybe purple's not even the answer. Maybe we go, well, I want to definitely pull in the dragon's colors a little bit, but maybe there's another option. Let's go ahead and just leave these out. These are our sample blocks. You know what, we'll make it a little bit bigger so we can see a more wide area. Okay. Is there another color that may play into this? I'm not convinced that light blue doesn't, but on which side? I don't think it does. Those are very different texture or colors altogether. Okay, well, moving on. I'm wondering if the only answer is the gray. Now, does it make sense over here? I think it does. I think that's the answer. If I wanted to add a third color, I think I need to go with light gray. I think that's the solution. Let's go ahead and gather a few more light gray terracotta, and then we might have to go, Oop. We may need to go and see if we can find ourselves the last bit of mud that we need to finish up this build. We flew over to the swamp to gather some mud, and there's a stray dog over here, which apparently I own. I don't recall ever having a dog, and we are 1,400 blocks from base, and for some reason he's here. I don't remember taming a dog, and I don't remember losing him, and I don't know why he's in the swamp, but I guess you can come home with us? I'm such a sucker for strays. He's coming home with us. This is such a bizarre thing to be out of, but my limiting factor right now for mud is actually the wheat, which makes me kind of question whether or not I'm a good Minecrafter. Like, how can wheat be my limiting factor right now? We're gonna have to go ahead and go on a little adventure on our way back to the Hall of All to maybe cross another village so we can borrow their wheat. I have no idea how I haven't built a wheat field in this series. This is day, Lord knows what, probably thousands, many of thousands of days, and apparently I had, let's see. Oh no, I used it all. I think I had 47 wheat left. So we're gonna do a quick little detour. I should be coming across a village at any point in time, but I'm gonna go gather some wheat, make some more mud, and then we should have everything we need to finish the Hall of All ceiling section. Nothing about this will ever feel natural or right to me. The fact that I have to come and raid, I have to pillage villages in order to get enough wheat to create mud. This is the bottom, in my opinion, of the... I just punched that. I'm so sorry. The very bottom of Minecraft, but and it's really kind of an embarrassing moment for me. So pay no attention. I know what I'm doing, kind of sometimes, but this is such a low. It is such a low. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna continue to steal the rest of their crops, and we'll be headed back to the Hall of All here momentarily. Also, probably a good time to note that I don't know which direction the Hall of All is. I'm hoping it's in this direction because we only have 14 rockets left. I think it's over this hill, but we kind of flew around in unorthodox directions, so it may take me a few minutes to find home. Thankfully, that didn't take too awful long, and now, with the rest of our resources gathered, we can go ahead and dump off some of this stuff. I think we have what it takes to make everything we need to finish the upstairs or the rafter regions of this Hall of All. Now, we don't need this weird stuff. I don't know what we're gonna ever do with that. Muddy mangrove roots. I wonder what those are useful for. We'll have to check out some gradients that maybe involve some of those, but I think all we need is a couple, well, realistically, the hardest part is all of the slabs, but I think 64 ought to do it, and I am ready to rearrange the inventory for roof production. Let's head up there. Let's get the roof done. Do I need to make anything more? I think 64 will do it. Let's grab a few steps. Let's make another stack of these, and then we can break those down into a few steps, and that should be... Oh man, I hope that's plenty of resources. There's a chance that I may need some more bricks. Gosh darn it. Okay, we'll grab one more stack, and that will definitely do it. Back up we go to finish up this roof. Okay, the rooftop is done, and I think the last thing I need to do is just break up this little gradient we've added in here one more time and add in the third texture that we're going to go with, and that is the light gray terracotta. Now, I don't have a reason for this other than I just wanted a little aesthetically pleasing, kind of a splodge inside this Hall of All. I think I'll take this one out. There is no reason that that shouldn't look pretty good. Maybe one more off the top. I like that. Okay, let's go ahead and do the other side real quick, and then we should be able to pop down below and check out how this whole thing works. Okay, it's official reveal time. The roof and the... Oh, that's actually really... That's spot on. That's exactly kind of what I was going for. Those colors transition. Now, I did something a little different. The gray is here. I put the grays in the corners on the other side. So let's turn around and head over here real quick. And that's what the, wow, okay, I'm actually very pleasantly surprised how these colors work together. I may actually, on this one, I think it's a little much gray, so it wouldn't hurt to pop a few of these out. Come back in with a little bit of pink or magenta, and then we'll be able to bring in just a smidge more of the purple. But this is incredibly shocking that this ended up working so well. I've never been more excited in my life for a silly little gradient like this. Okay, well, I think that is everything we needed to do. Yeah, everything that we need to do in the Hall of All today. Now, the only last thing that I will do between now and the next episode is work on some of the minor details here in the Hall of All, and that is because of time constraints. But what I want to do is add in like a few up slabs, maybe some upside down stairs, or even trapdoors to help give this a little bit of texture. Kind of like we have these, ooh, maybe I even use the sandstone slabs on the outside just so it's not just a random beam through here and then mud slapped on top. I think that'll help bring things together. And then we have all of the birch fences we need to bring in here for little accent pieces. I think I'm sticking with the single post, and there's no reason for this other than aesthetics, but I thought about also maybe adding something inside of here. We can add little arches, maybe. That's too much of the arches here. We'll decide what those are all about, but let's get all this stuff put away so we can get out of here. I've made a grave mistake. I am out of rockets, so we are on foot. I got one rocket out of the Hall of All, turned around and grabbed this stuff, and then when I would take off again, I ran completely out. So we're doing this on foot, but I'll catch you guys there momentarily. But that is going to bring us to an end. I appreciate you all coming and hanging out with me. If you're still here hanging out, do not forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a like, share with your friends, and leave some kind words in the comments down below. As always, in the description down below is a link to the community Discord. Go check it out, come hang out, play some Minecraft with us, share some of your designs and your builds. And as always, stay beautiful, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.